line now. The downside is they're not learning anything, and you know that if you have some. The upside is you can listen to what they're learning. And that's a huge threat to some of their teachers. They're worried that normal people might discover that they're not teaching the kids, they're indoctrinating them. Some teachers are openly tweeting about using text chat instead of voice chat so that parents can't hear what's going on. What can parents do about this? Libby Emmons is a senior editor at Post Millennial. We're happy to have her on tonight. Libby, thanks so much for coming on. So teachers are upset that there might be some transparency in the classroom and parents might know the lies they're telling to their kids. Are they saying this out loud?
Yeah, they are saying this out loud. In fact, there was a school district in Tennessee that made parents promise that they would not look in on the Zoom calls, that they wouldn't be monitoring them. They made them sign off on a paper. There was a teacher in Philadelphia who was tweeting about how he's worried that conservative parents are going to get in the way of his indoctrinating students into critical race and gender theory. And in fact, when I noticed that my son's teachers were doing the same kind of indoctrination about white privilege and critical race theory and all of this stuff, they were very dismayed to discover that I was paying attention and that I wanted to know what the deal was with all of this stuff. Parents need to be paying attention to what their kids are learning in school. And I think for too long, parents have just been trusting that the educational system is teaching history and teaching science and teaching normal things. And instead, what's going on is that the entire educational infrastructure from the top down in New York City, it begins with the chancellor, Richard Carranza. They're pushing this stuff into the classrooms. They're pushing it onto teachers and they're pushing it onto students. And what they're telling students is that they're not equal, that some students are oppressors and other students are victims, that they are responsible for an entire system of racism, that they are meant to do something about this in a systemic way. And they're completely forgetting that what kids need to learn is to be kind to each other, to treat everyone with respect, and to learn the accurate history of our nation, and to learn about literature and books and mythology and all of these things without the overarching lens of racism shading everything. Because if you cover everything with the idea that it's racist, that's all you're going to see. That's all the kids are going to learn.
Well, I mean, if we had a functioning civil rights division, the Justice Department, they'd shut this stuff down immediately because it's racist lies. It's abuse. But let me ask you, now that parents know, it is, but now that parents know that this is going on, that they're required to pay for it, they're not allowed to intervene in any way, the kids aren't learning anything, actually. A lot of kids are totally ignorant of facts. Will this system continue now that we know what it consists of?
I certainly hope that it doesn't continue, but I don't have any faith that it won't. I don't have any faith that it will be disrupted. In fact, I was telling my son just today that when he does go back to school, when education starts up again, he should pay attention to math and science, and that me and his dad will teach him everything else. And that's what he should be paying attention to. Yeah. My intention is to teach him art and history and civics and religion and the things that I think are important to be a functioning human being. I basically told him not to pay attention to anything his teachers say other than basic math and science.
I think that's wise. It's sad, but it's clear you're right. Libby, thanks so much for coming on and for your wisdom as a mother.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.